Hey, Professor Homa here. Welcome to part 6 of Web Page Comp. And I'm going to make this one a short one because the last one was a little longer. Although, 15 minutes here or there probably isn't too bad, I guess. But I'm going to keep this one shorter. We're just going to do this little main area. And then for the last video, I'll just do the navigation buttons. So what I'm going to do here is we're just going to make some dummy text. In other words, we're going to just make some body copy that just for filler. We're not going to put real copy in there. I'm going to take my text tool and instead of just clicking, I'm going to draw a box, and I'm going to try to keep the margins similar to what I'm using. Now I could put guides there, but I'm just going to do it by eye to try to keep around the same margins that I'm using in my other areas. And when I do that, it makes a box here. Now normally you can copy and paste Lorem Ipsum text, but Photoshop actually has text you could put in here. If you go to Type, Paste Lorem Ipsum, it'll paste a bunch of dummy text in here. Now I just put it in here. Now the first time I did it, it came in white, and that's because the default of my text settings was white, and I didn't even see it. So you can, if it is white, you could go in here and do like Command A and change the color. Now I'll go over here. No, also it was also in caps because that's what my last setting was, so I had to turn off the caps. So it's 16 point right now. It's 24 point lighting, which is actually good because it's spreading it out a little bit. It's black, and I put it on crisp. And another thing I'll do here is just somewhere in the middle, I'm just going to hit a return just to make like 2 paragraphs. And you can see it put a space there. Now it won't normally do that, but I had put that in. That's actually under paragraph, and that's actually, they have a space before setting here. And it's 12 point space before. So normally, in web pages, if you have paragraphs, you're going to want space in between paragraphs. You usually don't indent on the web, you usually put space between them. So I use a space before setting once I put a paragraph return in there, and that's all I have to do with that. And that's my Lorem Ipsum, and I could change the font if I want, but I'm staying with Helvetica, or you could use Verdana or some kind of generic sans serif font. And for my heading here, I'm just going to click and type a headline. So I'll do it up here. I'll have to click to get out of here first, and then I'll just click up here, and I'll just put like welcome for now. I'm not sure what else to put. Not sure what we did over here. Welcome. Okay, so we're just going to type welcome, and I guess we can put an exclamation mark. And this would be a little description of what the company does. Maybe they could list different things that they do. But I'm also going to make this bigger because it's a heading. So I'll go over here and maybe I'll make it bold. And maybe I'll make it like 36 point, something like that. And that's probably it. I could change the color if I wanted to use like maybe I want to borrow the green. If you're going to borrow a color, you want to use colors that you're already using. Be consistent. So if you're using a dark green color, use the same dark green color you're using in your address and footer bar. If you use a medium green color, if I was going to use a medium green color, I'd probably use this one. And use that color over there. That makes it more consistent because you're using the same colors in there. So I'll leave that one for now. That doesn't look bad. It's actually probably looks better because it's not getting so much, it's not competing as much with everything else going up here in the header. It's kind of a little more subtle by doing that. So that looks fine. The black and white looks fine. You want to keep your line lengths short. You don't want really wide line lengths, so that's what we're doing here. And that's about it for this part. Now, before I end this video, what I'll also do is make a layer folder. So I have these two things. I have the welcome, and I have that layer all together. So I'll use this method by going to my drop down and doing new group from layers. And I'll just call it main because this is kind of my main content area. And I have it above a side right now, which is fine. I'll probably put main, actually it's probably going to stay there because I'll probably have navigation be my first one. So that's it for that one. So that's just using text, pasting Lorem Ipsum, and then also using a way to make a text box with Photoshop as well for some dummy copy.